All right, go get it, nation. How's everybody doing today? You guys must be doing a little bit better than me because I'm going to let you guys know right up front that I am surviving shot number 2. So I wish, I wish I was feeling a little better, but there was no way that I was missing this chat. We're doing it at a special time today. It's 1 o'clock Eastern time instead of 3 because we needed to accommodate this busy man's schedule. And I was happy to do that. And we're stepping up in weight class here today, guys. This is a good show. We have with us a 5-tool media athlete. Okay, he's rocking on air. He's doing the VO stuff, promo and imaging and commercials. And you might just bump into him on social media. So those are 5 awesome tools. And by the way, Rick, you can use that in your branding, no charge.
Oh, yeah, I already stole it.
But I want to be able to even though I'm not feeling good, I have a fever. And in the immortal words of Christopher Walken on Saturday Night Live, I have a fever. And the only thing that will cure it is an interview with Rick Party on Ringside. What's up, dude?
What up, man?
Dude, look at you.
Dissin. How are you, man?
See you, man? I'm good, brother. It is really, really good to see you. Now, I've been very excited about this interview. You were gracious enough to allow me to share the stream with you on Clubhouse about a month or 2 ago. We had a lot of fun in that discussion. And here we are, Ringside. There's a lot of people jumping in. We're going to say hello to them. I'm going to encourage them to ask you questions. I'm going to hit you with a few things you might not have talked about before, or at least I hope not. We're not going to do the typical stroll down memory lane or tell me all the stations you worked at because, we don't have enough time for that. Hats off to you, dude. I am, Wayne's World, not worthy. Good to see you, man.
No, thank you, man. It's an honor to be hanging out with you, man. I mean, listen, the name Ringside, and I'm a big boxing fan too. I listen. I love that. I love the ropes, baby. Let's go for it. Let's
go. Let's get down. Yeah. Let's say hello to some of the folks joining us here. Matt James is here. Paul Green Dennis, Damon Allums, John Grimes, Robert Rhodes, Sir Hamilton Newton is here. Steve Tardio, Dave Inahosa, Brian Whitaker is here. And I'll make sure to keep giving the shout outs, guys. Let me make mention we are also simulcasting on Clubhouse in addition to LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live, and Facebook Live. Just a reminder to mute your microphone until after the show and hop on over with me and we'll do a little impromptu marketing chat where we'll knock out some of your marketing questions. So the first thing I got to ask you, Rick, is you and me have a couple things in common. Beyond that, we're in the VO thing.
Right.
But I need to know when you were in Atlanta at V103, number 1.
Oh, wow. So I was in Atlanta, V103, 96 through 98, the best years of my life in radio, I would have to say.
And where did you live? There's a reason why I'm asking you, because I'm going to blow your mind here in a second.
I live in Union City, of all places.
Okay. Would you believe that this guy grew up in Stone Mountain?
Are you serious?
Swear.
Wow.
So I remember V103. Now, unfortunately, our paths didn't immediately cross because I left to go up north in 1990.
Okay.
But when I've always known that you were on V103, and I had to ask you what years you were there.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the cool stations. Everybody would listen to V103, man.
That's cool. How'd you go from south to north?
And I went back down south again just recently. But so my family is from Northeast Philly.
Okay.
They're, both my parents, my dad went to the same high school as Wilt Chamberlain, for example, Overbrook High. And when I was about 6 years old, my dad got transferred and they said, you can go to Kansas City or Stone Mountain, Georgia. And he picked Stone Mountain. And that's where I went to. I went all through school, graduated high school, but it was sort of preordained when I got out of high school that I'd be going to Temple University. Like my mom went there, my brother went there, cousins went there. It was like, no choice. I'm wearing the cherry and the white. You got to go. A good communication school too. And thank God I went because that led me to connect with Paul Turner and doing the stuff with Howard and all that stuff back in the day. So yeah, and I just came back. I'm in Virginia now.
Oh, super dope, man. God, you got a storied career, man. You've been in some good places.
I've been lucky, man. I've been lucky. Just worked my butt off, dude.
Yeah.
I just worked my butt off and, trying to take a page out of your book because you're crushing it, dude. And the
Hey,
other
man.
thing I'm going to tell you is, and I want to talk to you about, that not many people might not know about you that we both have in common.
Okay.
Is you had not a career, but you spent a lot of time as a personal trainer.
Yeah. Wow. You've done your homework, man. Yeah.
Come on, man. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely personal trainer, man. The funny thing about it is that, and I don't want to mess up your story, but I had to get to a point in my life where I needed to save my life. So I was going through a point where my weight ballooned up from a skinny kid to like well over my weight, obese, so morbidly obese to me, what I would consider was like 230 from a guy who was at once maybe 160, right? And then I went to the doctor. The doctor said, "Hey, you're borderline diabetic. You've got gout. You've already born with a sickle cell trait. Dude, you eat another donut, you won't. It won't be a good story for you." I got like do you remember what do you call it? The Insanity DVDs from Body Beast back in the day?
Sure.
I got Insanity, finished that program a couple times at P90X. I did Body Beast. And I said, you know what? Now my body's looking good. Why not become a certified personal trainer? So I did that. And then from that point, I just decided to save lives, man, because that's what my mantra was all about, man. Really just saving lives, serving people. So it went hand in hand for me.
Well, therein lies two lessons that apply to Go Get It Nation here, because number one, you hit a point where you had to be the CEO of you.
Yeah.
When you weren't feeling good and you were eating like crap and you gained some weight and you had to put yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
So many people out there in Go Get It Nation, especially in the media industry where you might work funky hours or you're side hustling, the first thing that drops off the table is, well, I'm not going to eat a healthy meal. I'm going to have a pizza.
That's right.
Or I'm going to go out when we could go out, we could go, get to the happy hour or a couple of beers with the other fellas at the station or whatever it is. And believe me, guilty. I did the same thing.
Right.
I ballooned up. I was basically a bowling ball with feet. It was terrible.
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
Yeah. And, I dropped a whole bunch of weight. And, I had my own personal training business even while I was working with Paul and all that stuff, managing his career for funsies. I opened up a studio and I had clients and I would train people early mornings. And
nice.
It was cool. But so that lesson number one is you made yourself the CEO of you.
That's
and
right.
The other thing is you paid it forward.
Mm-hmm.
You passed on that knowledge to other people.
Yeah.
And that is the essence of what we're trying to do. This little movement we got going on here, Go Get It Nation, is to take care of yourself. And then once you do, pay it forward to somebody else. And you're the living embodiment of that.
No, thank you, man. I mean, listen, that's what life is all about. Like you can't go out and do it and expect everything to come to you just for doing it. It is what you're supposed to do for people. So you said you had a full business and I applaud that. I actually wanted to do the same thing, but there was something in me that said, not just yet. I want to keep on doing this for free. So I do it in Miami and I do it in Atlanta and do it in Chicago. I go around and have these big workouts and challenges and for free, for free. Or sometimes I give back to a youth center in Chicago because that's how I started. I started my radio career at a Boys and Girls Club at a youth center. So it was my way of putting back into the community, man.
So it's ingrained into you to reach one, teach one, basically.
That's right. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And Go Get It Nation, you need to take a page out of Rick's book. We do have some questions already. I have plenty of other things I want to go over with you, but let's let the crowd ask questions here. Let's see here. Let me find here. So, Sir Hamilton Newton asks, how did you transition from doing radio imaging to promo work?
Radio imaging to promo. Good question. Funny thing is, a guy who was my mixer in Chicago had gotten a job at the BET television networks as the music director. And while I was doing the morning show in New York City at WBLS, a big record exec and the music director, they knew that BET was looking for a promo voice. And they said, hey, it just so happens that WBLS's Rick Party does radio promo, so we can use them for this television promo. They sent it to me. It hit my email box. I was like, whoa, a promo from BET.
Yeah.
I read it, sent it back quickly, and like, yo, this is good. And you got it back quickly. So two things. Not only was it good, they could rely on me right away. And then when they needed something again, I was the go-to guy. Boom, they get it right back. I'm traveling, in another state. I'm going to find a car to do it in. I'm going to find a hotel. I'm going to put some pillows over my head. I'm going to get that done back quickly. And if you need a redo, no problem. I got you. How do you need it done? And how quickly do you need it? And that lasted for about 9, 10, 13 years. I was the voice of BET just for those two reasons.
So Go Get It Nation, are you listening? I hear reliability is key. Response time is key. Making no excuses. And that, look, you have the talent. Obviously, you have the pipes, but they were probably more inclined to keep hiring you because you did all of those other things.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what we try to preach. It's like you guys got to run it like a business. You got to be able to do all these things beyond having a great instrument.
That's right.
And
no excuses, man. No excuses.
I love it. I love it. Let's welcome some of the other people who have jumped on here. Paul Green Dennis, Wanda Giggers. Victor Singleton is here. Robert Jonathan has joined us. Nick Middlecoff, Ronald Hunt, Jeff Beal, Mr. Marketology. That's who Jeff Beal is.
Love it.
You're pretty popular, man. This is awesome. So the other thing I wanted to discuss with you, and we'll certainly, guys, keep serving up the questions for Rick. I'll certainly deviate for the things I wanted to discuss with him to be able to relay your questions. But in addition to the storied voiceover career, I mean, touchdown after touchdown after touchdown.
Yeah, man.
You early on, you thought outside of the box on how to market yourself.
Right.
And I first got connected to you. Geez, that had to be 15 years ago or more. Maybe I'm trying to think when you ran Voiceover Universe, the social media site, which was groundbreaking. It was like the Facebook for VO people.
Absolutely.
And I loved it because I used it like a turkey shoot to go find talent to do stuff for the production company I was at. It was awesome.
Right.
A great networking tool. So how did that happen?
So there goes that saying, if they don't open doors for you, create your own. So I created my own. I tell you, Chris, Corey, I was, after seeing my doctor, I forgot to add this one. She also gave me a sleep apnea machine because I was also diagnosed with sleep apnea.
Really?
I had to lose that weight. Yeah, I had the mask, right? So that thing would give me so much oxygen and it would feed my brain. And I wake up in the middle of the night. And I said, there's got to be a place where I could build my own social media network. And then I searched and I found this site called Ning. I said, oh my gosh, I can do one for VO people here. Contacted my good friends. Listen, I did the grassroots, way. I went right to the email boxes. I contacted people by phone and say, listen, my name is Rick Party. I used my legal Zurich. I've got this social networking site. I'd love for you to be a part of it. You can add your demos, your videos, yada, and people loved it. And that was my way of rubbing shoulders with the absolute best, from Rodney Salisbury to G. Keith Alexander to my good friend Joe Cipriano, to even the late Don LaFontaine, the best of the best, and Bo Weaver. They all became a part of this. And they were trying to figure out, like, who is this dude and what's he about? How did he get this together? He's a genius. I'm like, no, I just found some network and I just called it Voiceover Universe. It made sense.
You hustled, man.
I hustled, man. I hustled. And that's what people love that about you. Talent is one thing. Talent will get you in the door. It will get you in the door, but it won't keep you there. If you're not a hustler, if you're not an early riser, if you're not a person who's willing to jump the hoops, there's no place for you. Because listen, talent, that's a dime a dozen. They can find us.
Wait a minute. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, because I have to do the rewind here. Say it again slowly, because I heard what you said, but I want to
Right.
make sure everybody else. Talent gets you in the door.
Talent gets you in the door, but the hustle, the grind, the reliability, that keeps you in the door. That keeps you in the door.
Dude, Rick.
Yeah.
Do we need to even say anything else for the rest of the show? I mean,
Right.
hang your hat on that and go, we did a good job today.
Right.
I mean, that is a drum that I beat constantly, because you said there's a million deep voice guys. There's a million sexy females, or Demi Moore raspy females, or, you know, whatever. Pick a stereotype, archetype, you know, there's a million of them out there. What can you do to separate yourself? And then to boot, you did this voiceover universe thing eons ago, but you still continue to break ground now. You're on platforms that nobody talks about.
That's right.
Nobody, like Solo and Needle and Fan Base.
Right.
I mean, you either do a lot of digging on your own, or you got great people around you.
It's all me, baby. It's all me, you know. And, you know, it goes back to, you know, where I'm from, south side of Chicago, man. I mean, where dreams just don't come true. And you have to create doors. So everywhere that I saw a door, I created a house. You know, everywhere I saw land, I created a house there. You know, so if it were a Fan Base or a Nito, I said, wow, I can do this here, do that there. You know, so many places. I mean, you name the sites. I've got some kind of real estate in the popular ones. I've got in LinkedIn, I've got a nice group of 8,000-9,000 there. You know, and I just kind of let it do its thing there. I could do a little bit more, but, you know, it's my land.
Yeah,
you know?
That's your shelf space, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you got the whole soda aisle, brother. It's like you got Coke, Sprite, root beer, the whole damn thing. And it's like, it's impressive. And the thing that you've been really dominating on, which I envy you because I'm still learning, is this Clubhouse thing, brother.
Yeah.
I mean, you have got a massive following on there. You're on there all the time, and you're doing Clubhouse. You know, it's very much like another radio show for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's smart, dude. It's smart.
Yeah.
And like the way, and I'm going to tie in a question from Hamilton. He was asking if you do any coaching.
Okay.
And you do quite a bit of coaching. I mean,
absolutely.
You know, and especially on Clubhouse, where you're having talent read copy in the group. And what brought you to Clubhouse? You had to be an early adopter, because I don't know, maybe you found it the day it came out. I don't know, because when I jumped on there, I thought I was pretty early, and you already had like 17,000 people following you. I go, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah. Now, for me, it was, I think, late October, early November is when I jumped on. A friend invited me, and she sent me a link, and I created a profile, and I just made it and forgot about it, just so that I could have real estate there. And then she sent me a reminder, and I was like, okay, what is this thing about? I was like, okay. And it took me no time. I'm the guy who went into my first room listening, going, oh my God, I hope they can't hear me, you know, but they can't hear me, right? And I said, oh, I can do this there. And all of the people in the audience, that's the listening audience. Or it can be you're on your TEDx stage and they're the audience there. It could be a radio show, whatever you want it to be. Or it can be a classroom. I was like, oh God, I'm about to go crazy on here, man.
And you certainly have been.
Yeah.
I mean, you got, it's quite a following. And it begs the question, and I want you to just be very candid as you can be. You know, so we're mentioning all of these sort of tertiary platforms, Solo, Needle, Fan Base, Clubhouse, etc. But of course, you got the big four: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. What do you say to the voiceover talent in 2021 that says, I don't have time to go on social media?
I'm saying you don't have time to win then. You don't have time to make money. I mean, that's the way it is today. Even with radio, you're looking at a guy, you're talking to a guy that's been in radio for over 35 years. Some of my radio peers don't understand, why am I starting to do a radio show on Nito and or social media? Because that's the way it is. You have to think like a 13-year-old. My daughter, who's going to be 12, She sees the big picture. We don't. We get so spoiled having these millions of listeners. She came into the room the other day, not the other day, some months ago, and she said, "Dad, guess what?" I said, "What?" She goes, "I have 50 followers." I go, "Oh my God, are you serious? What? What?
Oh no.
Wow. Like, that's a lot. Like, we don't understand that. We don't see that. You remember when we first jumped on to Clubhouse, and if you can get 50 followers in a room, that's a big deal.
Sure
now
is.
You get it. We need to see it the way these kids see it. This is why they're making millions on social media, because they see the big picture. And that's the way it is for me. It's like when AM did not understand FM, how terrestrial radio doesn't understand social media. I had my first my first online radio station probably in 2005 or 6, and I saw the big picture then, but now people are finally starting to do it. I'm like, oh, now you get it. Now you want to jump to the game. It's kind of too late now, and that's how I see a site like Needle, NEDL. I mean, it's a perfect site where you can actually broadcast your show, share the link on social media. People click the link and they can listen. They don't have to go into the app to do it. That's easy. That's like
Don't
your
they do
iHeart.
transcripting too?
They do transcript.
Yeah.
It's like you can Google the audio. It's I mean, come on. Yeah.
So, I'm going to dovetail a question from Jeff Beal, and I'm going to intertwine it with one from me. Jeff says, how do you manage all of your diversified accounts and then keep up with maintaining your presence on all these platforms? I mean, do you sleep? Do you walk around with an IV bag and not eat? I mean, what are we doing here?
No, believe it or not, I actually get at the very least 8 hours of sleep. I don't have to get up in the morning. My shows I can record, but I sleep. First of all, sleep. And Corey, you know this, man. Sleep is most important, because if you don't take care of the machine, it won't take care of you. Don't take care of the body, it won't take care of you. That's why I see you in the gym, pumping it out every day. And I'm sure in between that, people don't understand, when you work out, you have to give the body rest. Because if you don't give the body rest, it will not grow for you. My mind will not grow for you if I don't rest. So I give everything its attention. I'll peek in, and I spend the most time on where the flower truly grows. And right now the flower is growing in Clubhouse, and I water that, and I can walk away from it and let the machine do its own thing. I can walk away and I'll see that I've got more people following me because I spent more time on it. And by this time, Clubhouse is probably saying, hey, I recommend that you follow Rick Party for whatever, because, I've watered that plant. But I'll still go in and check it out. I'll commit to my Friday nights, my voiceover lessons at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then I'm doing my radio show there. And then Needle is the new wave. And while it doesn't have a lot of followers right now, I see where it's going. I see the vision, just like I saw the vision with Voiceover Universe. I saw the vision, and here we are today. Everyone wants to have a space in voiceover. I mean, there are a million voiceover clubs right now on a Clubhouse.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody wants to have a space.
So, do you write everything down? Do you kind of wing it? Do you have a regimented schedule every day with how you organize your day? That's big to Go Get It Nation. It's the right reason why I asked that question.
Yeah. I do a little bit of both. I mean, my mind, probably like your mind, Corey, goes a million miles an hour. You must write things down. You have to write things down. There's some times when I wing it, you have to be prepared when, hey, you technology may not work, or your coffee may be spilled in your paper. You gotta keep some things up here. So I have to learn to wing it. Okay, just in case this happens, what will I do? Just, for example, I'll use this. I was ready to go to StreamYard. I had my lights, my backlights ready, my camera, and my internet's not working. So now I'm on my phone. So I had to wing it. I said, I cannot let Corey down. So you always got to be prepared, man. You always got to write, man, because if you don't, how does that saying go? If you don't make a plan, you plan to forget, something like that.
Oh yeah. If you fail to plan,
yeah,
you plan to fail.
You Plan to fail. Exactly. There you go. You always have to plan. You always have to plan. That's my point. Yeah.
And what I tell people is this little tool is the best tool in show business.
Oh my gosh. Corey, hold on. I'm going to step out the screen for 1 second. I want to show you something. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. This is going to be. Now you show me your pen, right?
Ha!
You see this?
Yeah. Can't hear you real quick, Rick. I don't know why. Your sound dropped out on me a little
that
bit.
pen is with that paper, man. You always have to write. Always have to write. You
hold those papers up again one more time for me. Just kind of pose with them there. So Go Get It Nation. Here we have a guy who he's doing it. He's not talking about doing it. He does it every day. And the big reason why he does it every day is because he documents his day.
That's right.
He's organized. He's not trying to be a Jeopardy contestant. He doesn't try to press us with his memory. He writes stuff down. There's no fancy iPad or app or something. It's pen and paper. It's not a mystery, Rick. It's not a freaking mystery that you're doing what you're doing. Absolutely.
Got to. I mean, this is the way it goes, man. I mean, if you don't plan, listen, you're gonna fail big time, brother. Listen, pen and paper, that's the way to go.
So real quick, gang, if you have any last questions here for Rick, I know Victor Singleton just mentioned, he said that you're part of the reason why he got into VO.
Oh, wow.
His brand name is a variation of your old moniker, he says, which is Singleton Says. That's what he says.
Oh, wow.
Pretty cool.
Victor, I didn't know that. I've had you on my stage many times. You never told me that. It's good to know, man. That is so good to know.
Well, like I said, we can serve up another question or two here for Rick. We're on LinkedIn Live, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and simulcasting on Clubhouse. And we'll be jumping on for the post-game show on Clubhouse shortly, not nearly to the popular room like Rick gets in his room. But we'll get a few folks in there. Oh, Paul Green Dennis has a question. He said, how did you discover your foundation to marketing, or when did you start to hit your stride marketing presence-wise? Great question.
It's a good question. I think I discovered my foundation when I realized that I didn't want to continue to do radio without a backup plan. And that's when I entered the world of radio imaging. I knew that I did not have the connects to just walk up 2 doors so I could make phone calls. So I literally did the grassroots way. I called program directors. I emailed, I wrote to whomever I could, if it were the secretary, for the production director at a radio station, whomever I could, I did that, and I made sure that my presence was felt. And if they did not like something I sent them, or I needed to work on it, I went back immediately and made sure they had it. It was important to me that they never forgot me. And oftentimes when people get a door slammed in their faces, they go about their business or they quit. That was more fuel to me. So I'm the guy that literally will build his own door. And that's what I did for radio imaging. And that set me up to do so many other things like the BETs. And I did network voice for ABC and Cartoon Network. And the list goes on. I mean, I've done so much stuff, man, but it's about the hustle, man. It's about the grind. It's about not giving up. It's about using that no as a go.
So I like that.
Yeah.
I got to use that one, man. I'll send you the residual for that one. That's a good one. That no as a go. That is right out of Go Get It Nation. And we didn't even talk about how you're doing stuff on Sports Center. And I mean,
weeknight Sports Center every night. Yeah.
So navigate Go Get It Nation to the best place to find you, especially on Clubhouse, if they want to participate in your workshops and the things that you do on there.
Yeah. Just go to rickparty.com. And if you go to rickparty.com, it has a list of everything I do, from my radio show to all my social media stuff. And it's all right there. You can find me. And right on Clubhouse, just scroll to the bottom of my page and it says Voiceover. That's my Voiceover page, 7 Eastern on Fridays.
Well, that'll be time well spent, I can assure you. I've sat in one of those rooms as a panelist, like I said, but also sat and just was a fly on the wall and did a lot of listening and doing a lot of good things. You're a good egg, Rick Party. Let me tell you, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
You're
it.
a teacher. You're a leader. You are a groundbreaker, and you're a bona fide rock star, man. And I can't thank you enough. I promised you I'd get you out in 30 minutes because I know you got a busy day, and here we are at 30:05 on the button. I can't thank you enough for being on Ringside, and please let me know if there's anything I can do for you, okay?
Absolutely. I enjoyed myself on Ringside. I can't wait for the rematch. Thank you, man.
Yeah, let's go get it. Thanks a lot. Stay
Take it
tuned,
easy,
guys.
man.
We're going to be hopping
Thank
on Clubhouse here in a second. I'm going to say goodbye to Rick. We'll be in the room. Jump on over, and we'll answer all your marketing questions there. So stay tuned.